everybody. How's it going? This is Jack Devine. I guess we had some spirited discussion yesterday. It was fun. We were talking about all sorts of stuff, and somebody asked about Dear Prudence and how to look at the way that's played by the Garcia band. Because let's face it, if we're talking about the Beatles version, it's in a different key. The Beatles version is out of D, drop D tuning on the guitar. The Garcia thing has that more of a kind of thing where he does like kind of doing a Travis picking thing. That kind of sound, and it's in C. So we've got a different vibe altogether. I'm going to do my best here. I've switched to a different camera, and hopefully the microphone's better. I've been getting a lot of, obviously there's like, technical difficulties with doing these live streams because apparently, there's some magic to it. I don't understand it. So, but hey, I've never heard this song. Sounds beautiful. You've never heard Dear Prudence by the Beatles? Get thee to the White Album, my friend. Anyway, there's Dear Prudence. So the way to look at it is we've got a C chord, then a C7 chord, and a C6 chord, and then a C minor 6 chord. That's not a minor 6, rather. It's still a major chord, but it has the flat, like the sharp 5, so like that. Your mic sounds fine to me. I'm happy to hear that. Maybe it's my iPad mic sucks, and now that I've switched to the phone, we shouldn't have any problems. So what do we have here is we've got this nice descending bass line going like that. But we're playing over C chords, right? The whole time. So in a way, everything has to get back to C. So what I want you to do is try thinking about it in two ways. The way I bring out the character that I'm interested in is I play C, then C7, and then I transition to the 4 chord, which is an F chord, which is, in a way, if we look at the C6 chord, it has the 5 of that F major chord, it has the 3 of the F major chord, and it has, so if we play F major over top of the C6 sound, we get this. That sounds very, very nice. You could also just play pure C6, right? So, but that's, right? And then you want to think about playing F minor 7 with a Dorian sound, okay? So here's how it works out. I hope the person that requested this song be covered is tuning in. If you are, sound off, my friend. I would love to know that I'm actually tending to your request and that you recognize. All right, so we're gonna go C, C7, F, F minor, C7, F major, minor, like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, and does that make sense to everybody? Is everybody able to follow what's happening there? It does. You do have to kind of burn through that F to F minor change quickly to bring out that character, but that's really should be pretty simple. We should be thinking about F major, and then come up and grab that. Do I write any of my own music? Yes, yes. I used to have my own band playing my own songs here in the city, but then I got old and married and had 2 kids and decided to start making money. So it's so unique when targeting all those notes. That's I think this is the best way I can think of describing what's going on in my mind when I'm doing it. Thanks, Tony. I appreciate the comment. So you could just start by taking the simple route and walking down from C to B flat, A to G sharp. And then start to find other notes that work. Finding your way down the scale like that is really a good way to start. Just targeting those notes. And that's really all that I'm thinking about when I do it. But at some point in time, things start getting a little hairier up top, and you want to start, again, you want to be thinking like C, then C dominant, okay, and then C, then F major, and then more like F minor with that Dorian sound, which could be looked at as almost like a, where you want to think about maybe doing like a C blues sound over that last chord. So let's look at inserting a C blues like over top of that last chord, okay? Much more to it than that. Learning that minor sixth trick over top of the 4 chord, okay? The 4 minor as your cadence is a really cool one, okay? So that's the 4 chord of C is F. Make it minor, and then add, that's the minor, that's the flat 7. So do like a Dorian sound over top of the 4 chord on your way back to the 1, and you're in the money. That's how I look at it anyway, okay? Like that. Or you could stick with the melody, right? Just playing the melody. second part of the song, okay, that you're going to solo over, is based on those same chords, but slightly different. We get the sun is up, the sky is blue, it's beautiful, and so are you, dear Prudence. Won't you let me see you smile? Something like that. Okay, so we're saying C, C7, F, and then again F minor, B flat to F, back to C. Okay, and then we get the look around, round, round, round. Look around, round, round. And then look around. What did that say? Unrelated Kemper sounds. We can talk about that. Can you type that again? I wasn't looking. And to be honest, now that I'm on the phone with the better microphone, I gotta get all the way up here because I'm an old fart and I can barely read. Can you type that again for an old timer? Give me a second bite at the apple. Wait, it goes to F. It goes, yes, that's what I'm doing. Yes. Never seen that. The PRS. Yeah, there it is, baby. Solid rosewood neck, fully hollow, no coil taps, no piezo madness. Really killer, great sounding guitar. Love this instrument. Do I profile my own amps? No, I do not. I am lazy as fuck. I don't do that. I just get a hold of stuff that I thought was good. Primarily, I bought every amp on the Top Jimmy site and then just waded through way too much. I didn't need that much at all. I play out of 3, I think, or 4 that I found in there that I liked, and that's pretty much all you hear. So like this is my primary one. This is the deluxe reverb that I use and modify. So this is a deluxe reverb, and then I'll add a little boost, usually like just clean level, and maybe 1 delay right there. And then I usually will have a little bit of grit available. Is that what people call a parallel minor chord? Yes, it's exactly what it is. So we're going from the 4 to the 4 minor. I'm doing this instead, folks. So look, again, a lot of people just play the C as the drone during the verse, okay? But when you get to the bridge, you know, you got to think about the sun is up, the sky is blue, it's beautiful. Some people play an A minor 7 chord there. I don't. I play it's beautiful, and so are you. Won't you let me see your smile? Okay, and then you get the thing with the look around, round, round, round. Look around, round, round. Those are 6th chords. That's an F6 and a G6. Okay, that's that. I think I see him playing this voicing of it though. Sorry. Like that. I think I see him playing it looking like that, but I don't get to that grip so easily. I prefer going. Okay, or you could do okay, but either way you wouldn't want the overdrive on when you were playing the rhythm. You would want to keep it kind of clean. Then you go, I've learned how to play Eichel, Bertha, China, ran out of running room. Okay, I looked up and then man, they got to figure out a way to give an old man a break. I cannot read that. Okay, so we're going to go D sharp, F sharp, F, and then back to. Okay, that's the bridge turnaround. Okay, so look around, round, round. Dumbo, why aren't those sixths just a D minor and E? That's not a bad question at all. That is a D minor, and it is an E minor. But what makes them not? That is the fact that in the bass is this C chord that's happening. So you're hearing, look around, round, 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 round. Okay, so in a way, what you're really hearing is a C major chord to a suspended C6 sound, okay, with a ninth. Then you're hearing a G. Then you're hearing a C major 7 sound, and then back to the. But really, what the voicing that you're hearing is basically an F6. Okay, but that's why it makes sense to come up here and play. But still, the whole while we're hearing the C in the bass. Okay, so that's the bridge. You know, look around. Sorry, Neil, but this is being recorded, and hopefully there'll be something on there for you. All right, so if you've got. Yeah, thanks for stopping by, Neil. I appreciate it. I will. Just wondering how you recommend learning, practicing harder tunes like this versus Bertha. The way I would do it is systematically. I would hear the great question. Could you join your own live chat on the other iPad? You know, you are part genie and part us. So let's see. Let's get that. If you guys can bear with me for a second, let's see if that works. I might be able to actually be part of my own live chat. I never realized that. See? Oh my God, this stupid clamp. I'm gonna put out a GoFundMe to get a new rig. This thing is driving me bonkers. Oh my God, there we go. All right, now let's see. Here we go. Yeah, I can use another screen to see the live chat. Okay, so let's see. Let's get out of there. And how do I do it? If I go to my channel, do I see what's happening live? Can I see? There it is. Dear Prudence live. I'm live. Hopefully there's no feedback. Hey, there's all these questions. Now it is. I've learned, okay, how do I... What's happening live? Can I see? There it is. Hey, it's me. All right, so the question you had was, how do I recommend learning, practicing solo over this? We can get to that in a second. I don't know much about theory, but it seems to me I rarely use a key-centered approach. Unfortunately, I think that's all I understand. All right, so let's talk about both those questions at once. The reasoning behind, thank you very much for your great insight. I don't know why I didn't realize that I could utilize both tools at once. All right, so here's the deal. You can't think that everything is going to be just what key am I in, and it's a parent scale that handles the whole thing. Yes, I did, Alex, thank you. So the idea is you don't want to just think, oh, it's one key fits it all. It's not like a skeleton key where if there was just one chord, then yeah, you could say that could work, but in a way you'd be depriving yourself of other sounds that you can get at that could bring out characters. So let's just talk about looking at going down the C to C7 to C6 to C flat 6 or sharp 5, right? So that augmented sound is really powerful. So you should learn, first thing you should do is definitely figure out how to play an augmented triad, okay? It's gonna look kind of funky. You're gonna play the root, the third, the sharp 5, and the root barred, like that, and then you're gonna put your pinky on the third again. And then if you can, get the sharp 5 again, here, like that. So if we did C, 7, okay, 6, okay, so look, when you see this, that's the C6 chord. But a substitute for C6 is going to be, if we imagine, think about it like that G sharp is the flat third of F minor, and you get my little substitution. That sound. So C, 7, F. Oh, sorry. And then back into C. Okay, so that's my little hack on how to approach Dear Prudence, is to think about it into 2 chords, one with the parallel minor shift, okay? So you're going C, C7, 4 chord, 4 minor. Okay, so we're in the mode of G, which is the center of the D. Oh God, it's just too much thinking, Alex. You don't want to get caught up in your head so much, okay? If you use your ears, I think you'll find yourself much. I've been learning morning dew recently, and because I don't have an understanding of theory, it's been a bit of a journey for such a simple tune. That's not a simple tune. That song has 2 key centers. So the first time we're playing through, right? We're playing the D, C to G, and all that's out of G major, right? That's the 5 of G major, the 4 of G major. And so over the D chord, you're thinking mixo. Over top of the C chord, you're thinking Lydian. And over top of the G, you're thinking Ionian. Okay, but then once we shift to the bridge section, the "Can't walk you out in the morning," that part, that's in the key of C. Okay, so that starts on the 5 of the C. So not that you want to, when you're soloing in Morning Dew, you don't want to think, oh, I'm playing out of G during those first 3 chords, and then when it goes to the F, you don't want to think I'm playing in C. You want to think I'm playing out of F, Lydian. Okay, then when it goes to C, you want to think C major, right? So E minor, and then back to D. Back to F Lydian, into C major, right? All right, so that whole song, Morning Dew, is kind of complicated. It's nice and slow, fortunately, but it does have 2 key centers. So people want to say like, oh, why is this giving me a hard time when it changes? It's because not all songs just stay in one key. Okay, so similarly, this song right here, it's better to, how much money do I need to pay you for private lessons? My brain works like mine, honestly, though. Okay, so look, I mean, why don't we not talk about that here? Generally speaking, I think I'm actually I get paid pretty well. So depending on what market you're in, guitar lessons, in New York City, they cost a lot more than they do in, I don't know, someplace a little bit more rural, because the cost of living is so expensive here. So I may not be a good fit for you, and depending on where you are on your journey, I may be overkill. So I'm not trying to talk myself out of a job, but if you want to, you can email me at jack_divine@hotmail.com, and I'm happy to share all of the gory details about how things work. Okay, Tony? Happy to do that, though. Okay, now as far as talking about, yeah, I mean, I do teach. I teach all day, and when I had a cancellation today, I ended up talking to somebody for a little bit, and then another one of my students needed a little clarification, and then I figured I would do this. So yeah, so Tony, don't worry about it. So back to Dear Prudence, okay? You can sit there and think about these 4 variants of the C arpeggio: C major, C dominant, C6, and then C5 augmented, right? Okay, but that's a lot, for me, I prefer the approach of going C, C7, then F, and then F minor. And then back into the C major sound. Then look around, round, round. As I look around, round, round. Keeping this live for the future. I lost you, so I got that. This is good. Keeping this live for the future when I have my guitar with me. Oh, yeah. I'll try to learn this tune. It's a gorgeous sounding tune. Alex, I can't believe you haven't gotten around to grappling with some Beatles. Not that this is, I'm not teaching it like the Beatles do it. They do it in D and in more like a finger picking arrangement, like right? Out of drop D, so that's not the right note. But anyway, great classic song. All right, so that's Dear Prudence. So learn the melody, Dear Prudence. It's cool because it starts off the 2, right? Right? Section, the sun is up. Okay, then we're gonna want to get to that 7 chord. The sun is up. Then to the sky is blue. All right, and then you can do the C6 sound. It's beautiful, and so are you. Sharp, F sharp, F, and then back to. And that's it, my friends. All right, that's it for that. I don't know if anybody has any other questions that don't relate to Dear Prudence that they want to get to. If you didn't feel like you got a question answered that you've had in the past, fire when ready, my friends, and we can make this happen. But that could be enough on Dear Prudence. Yesterday's lesson was kind of fun. We were talking about that band Goose, which prompted like 4 people to reach out to me for I don't know, like a slight private consultation and just comments and stuff. It was very, very fun. All right, well, maybe I should go. What is that? Ah, that's it. Crazy Fingers End Jam. Jordan, do I have separate practice techniques from, what did that say? Do you separate practices and technique from musical concepts? Yeah, I think about things. Jordan, I'll see if I can get to what you're talking about, though. I must say I'm not that familiar with that ending jam concept that you're talking about. But it's largely, I bet it's largely connected to what we were just talking about in terms of going to the 1 to the 4 minor. Let's talk a little bit about the way I tend to bifurcate my lessons with students is typically I'll make people focus on what's happening with their right hand in exclusion to their left. Like we can just mute the strings altogether and just work on this idea. Like that would be something I would make. That's a cross-picking exercise. And the point is, don't confuse the student by learning two things at once. Just learn one thing at once and then plug it in. So if we have down, up, down, up, down, up, those 8 notes are the 8 notes across the bar. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And then once we get that together, we can now start to implement something out of the left hand, like a banjo roll. So that would be an example of breaking it apart into 2 chunks. First you learn the picking mechanic, and then you can break it down into that, okay? I just watched my Dark Hollow video the other day, and that helped with that cross-picking. Absolutely, Jordan, that's where it's at, okay? So that's a good example of me breaking apart ideas for students so that it can be parsed out into, you know, the old saying, how do you eat an elephant? 1 bite at a time. Well, this thing, this is an elephant. For sure, it's huge. Music is infinite, and the guitar is multi-dimensional in terms of there's 5 middle C's, right? Right, so good luck figuring out how the best way to play something, right? So yeah, I wish I could each be given 100 lifetimes. Yeah, man. So check it. Another thing is, you know, make sure that you've got your abilities pretty sewn up where you can just, you know, play nicely on 1 string, then change. So those are 2s. And then, you know, maybe you start out by giving somebody a little... Just give them a little fun little exercise like that. It doesn't really matter if you're playing it right. The idea is to get this happening. And now we can take our picking skills to a new place by going... Right? And that comes from going... Those are 6s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So practice that. And then plug in the notes. So that would be another example of getting one part together, then adding the second. If you're fighting both these battles at once, it can be very daunting, especially for an intermediate level player. All right, let's talk about... A friend of mine gave me a tip, told me never to play at a 100% when performing because when you make mistakes, well, yes. So the thought I have in terms of that is absolutely, you know, you have to recognize your own headroom, right? When you're pushed to your limits, that's when things can go wrong badly. So I tend to be able to play everything I play live about 10 or 15% faster, all right, than I play it, because I want to be able to be relaxed when I play it. And that's when we're talking about set pieces, things I know I'm going to be playing. So if I'm playing a show and I know I'm going to be playing, you know, that kind of thing, you know. All right, I know that I need to be able to play that a little faster than I'm gonna have to, just in case the drummer's had one too many beers and it's a little fucking rowdy or something like that, or I counted in too bad. You know, like you never know when like you're gonna end up playing a slightly more coked up version sounding of a song. So you gotta kind of hedge against that by having a little extra practice time, maybe where you've got it. So nobody really likes the sound of effort. They want it to feel kind of effortless when you play, I think, most of the time. I mean, every now and again, reaching for it, that sounds cool, but you know, hey. Can I tell us about the black Strat? Catherine. Yeah, here, let me do that. Okay. All right, let's I'm gonna go through some of these things and we'll do that. Black Strat time, here we go. First of all, most of these questions are already answered on my website or the page, but I'm happy to walk you through it, Catherine. Catherine, this is just a standard American vintage reissue from 1987, I believe. And I bought it maybe, I don't know, 16 years ago, maybe. And this has been my daily driver since I decided to abandon playing my Les Paul and 335s primarily. I had a Tele, I didn't own a Strat. So I thought to myself, how are you calling yourself a guitar player if you don't have a Strat? So I figured I would get one of these, and I got lucky. I think I really got a nice guitar. You know? It sounds great. I did have bigger frets put into it, so these are jumbos, and I had noiseless pickups in it, so I can add oodles and oodles of gain to it and not have it, you know, get too like. Let's see about this. Let's see. Oh God, that's the thing I don't like about the Kemper is it doesn't always show. There I am. So I can add like plenty of gain here, and on the neck pickup. And it's not going. I hate hum and hiss. So neck pickup, bridge pickup, tone roll down. If I turn it up a little bit, it'll probably sound a little nicer on the mic, but. That's the black Strat. It's came to me in pretty good shape, but it's definitely lost a lot of its paint over the years. It's flaked off and worn off in the case and worn through and just chipped off in big chunks and spots. That's natural wear, but it's not from abuse. It's from poorly applied paint. So large chunks of it just came off like that. I did not play Cliffs of Dover. I played one section of Cliffs of Dover. I played the pussy part of Cliffs of Dover. I did not play what is that? That thing and all the, no, I don't have those kind of crazy speed chops. I know the one little arpeggiated tenths thing. What is that? I love Eric Johnson, but I'm not a devotee of his, work so much. But yeah, so love the black Strat. Skinny neck, by the way, not a big fat neck, not a fat neck. So anybody who tells you got to play a big neck to get a big tone, I disagree. But then again, maybe you like it. I don't though. I'm a fan of this. I don't use the trem, but I do have the 3-speed, so it's mounted flush, and the pickups are noiseless DiMarzios, and they're not particularly in vogue. These aren't au courant in terms of technology, but they sure do allow for a great deal of sauce to be applied without any extra hum. So heavy blues, and solo, I believe they're called. And it's set up with the tone control wired to the bridge, and this tone control wired to the neck, and this has no tone control on it at all. So that's why you get this kind of brighter sound during the, solo stuff. So if I'm doing like trying to write or something, you've got this kind of effect. Right, where you're in the middle pickup there, and the neck is a little creamier, and here we've got, and I might brighten that up a little bit. So that would be bridge pickup, and then here we've got, kind of your that kind of real stratty sound, and then back here I have to wind up the tone control to get the. What does that say? What is the big difference with the black and white? Oh, between the Strat and the Field? The Strat and the PRS? Well, the truth is the PRS is not my main guitar. I love that guitar. I think it's incredible, but it's not my go-to. It's more of a niche club. If I was going to make a golf analogy, which I don't know why I would. I don't play golf, but it's more of it's kind of a every now and again thing. The cookies are sometimes food. Well, a PRS is a sometimes guitar. Generally, I would opt for the 335 over it, but the feel, it's a slightly fatter neck carve and a smaller body, and obviously it's lighter by about a pound. This guitar weighs 7 pounds and a little bit, and that guitar weighs like 5.5 pounds, so it's very, very nice and light. Okay, so you're very welcome, Catherine, and thank you for tuning in. And everybody always asks about this. What's going on with that? You'll note that when I play, that my hand is kind of always doing this. So if I was playing, so my hand is always kind of resting right there. And there's one of these screws that lives there. And because, let's say if I was really cranked up, if I go onto the next pickup here, and I went a lot, you can hear sometimes, in particular when I was doing it on this pickup, it would go and would create this slight popping sound. So I took one of these stickers and put it over that, and this started out being like a purple glitter sparkly sticker with a smiley face on it that I have left over from when my kids were babies, and I still think I have a few of them. Yeah, so here's the secret to Jack Divine tone. These bad boys, yeah. All right, so there it is. Here. So, blink. Anyway, that's the secret to my sound. And one of those goes over top of that pickup. I'm anal retentive. I don't think I could actually go the whole day with that on me. Anyway, so, but that's what that is. And other than that, this is my main guitar for sure. No doubt about it. This and that 335 cover most of the bases. Let's go through these other questions here, and we'll see if I can knock out some of them. Do I not love the PRS neck? That's my favorite PRS neck by a million miles. I love that one. That's just called Pattern, and it's a pattern neck with the raw rosewood. So it's delish. That is the sensory part of like the actual tactile element of playing that PRS is super sexy. There's absolutely no way not to dig it, okay? I'd love for me to check out your Silver Sky. I like Silver Skies, but I don't like the dinky frets. So, Alex, that's directed at you. What are the big differences between the Strat and the PRS? That's it. Sent you an email for lessons. That's cool. Thanks you very much, Tony. So we already talked about Black Strat, and then can we each be given 100 lifetimes? Yeah, I get you there. Watch your Dark Hollow video, did that. Long meandering solos and trying to work out the other one jam, but I struggle to keep it fresh for long. Okay, so that goes to Steven. Steven, are you still there? If you are, yeah, although I think they've upgraded the size of the frets on the Silver Sky. So, talking about playing over top of the other one. So Steven, yeah, man, happy to talk. If you haven't, go to my lesson on the other one. It's not often that I will toot my own horn, but I'm gonna toot. It's a fucking good lesson. It shows a lot of good options for how to approach that song based on modal interchange. And what is that? That sounds all daunting and everything like that. But if you realize that the other one, let's get to the looper, and let me get out of here and go to my sound for the other one. And that way we'll be in roughly the same area that we want to be in. One more. Okay, what is that? Is it that? There it is. Okay, so let's turn this down a little bit. And we'll go. Okay, so let's get a nice little groove for you, Stephen. Okay. All right, something like that. Something like that, right? Let's do that. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see if I've got that set up. And if we add a little atmosphere to make it a little bit nicer. It's not letting me add another layer. Okay, so let's just go straight to adding gain and a little extra sound. Okay, so Stephen, we've got to realize it's in E minor, okay? And I'm sure you got that all squared away. Okay, now what kind of E minor is it though? Is it E minor with flat 7? Yes, it is, because we've got that D is in there, okay? So my spidey sense is telling me, oh, this is the 2 chord of D major, right? Because this note here sounds like the sound I want to hear. I love that Dorian sound. Much more so than this C over top of it. Listen to that. That's too metal. This. That C sharp, that makes it an E minor with a Dorian 6th. Okay, so if that's the Dorian mode, and then that makes this D major, just like. So now watch, we can play D major arpeggios over our E minor groove, and it's going to sound fun. D major over top of it. What else can we do? Can we go and take it up a step further and think, well, what would be the 5th mode of that D major? That would be A mixolydian. Let's look at that. Yep, that sounds cool. So what do we hear? We hear that all the time. That's what I'm talking about ways of monopolizing your modes, right? You can take advantage of all of them. Like, let's look at what's this one. Okay, very rarely would you think, oh, I'm going to play C-sharp Locrian. Okay, that's the 7th mode of D major, but let's hear what that sounds like over top of the other one. B minor. Okay, and that way we get away from just playing E minor pentatonic. Last but not least, the other option you want to explore is some sequencing. So let's say we were playing out of E minor, and we were going to use our Dorian scale. Let's add a flat 5th to it. Okay, and see what happens there. Like again, like multiplying your options, because we can take sequences like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and play through that chromatic passing tone of the flat 5 and really get some interesting sounds. And we can do it right here too. I'm not familiar with Magnolia, the J.J. Cale tune. Okay, so Stephen, I hope that shows you a couple of things. Oh, thanks, Alex. So that is, so that hopefully will show you what's up with that. Now, let's talk about now the Crazy Fingers ending jam. I was trying to get back to you, Jordan. I'm not. Is that going to be that kind of? Let's get out of this loop. Is that going to be the... Let's see about that. Let's get out of here. Blink. There we go. That kind of thing where it's going just back and forth between the... Or is it doing... If it's doing that minor 4, that's something much more involved to talk about. So if you could answer that in the question, I would in the crawl, I would appreciate it, because you have a lot of new stuff to work with. Yeah, Steven, do me a solid though, bro. Go and check out the actual video. It's much more in depth, and you'll find it under the Grateful Dead playlist, underneath. What do you call it? On my YouTube channel, under the playlists, there's the Grateful Dead. There's got to be like 200 lessons in there. So I think you'll find that there. Okay, Stephen? Okay, yeah, absolutely. You just loaded it up. Okay, great. I'm glad to hear that, Stephen. I think that'll help you out quite a bit. Now, Jordan, if you're still on, that would be great. It'd be great to see what it is. Maybe you can tell me in the crawl here. In the interim, let me see if there's anybody else I could go for. Oh, I see. How much... I came to realize it's in a mode. Okay, so I don't see any. I don't think there's any any unanswered questions here. Oh, yeah. How I approach learning more advanced tunes like where we started with Dear Prudence. I tend to break them down into small chunks. So let's take a look at something like Ship of Fools. Ship of Fools is, there's a lot of chords there, okay? So if we're doing... okay, now we've got our little 2, 3, 4. Went to see the captain, strangers took it fine, laid my proposition down, laid it on a line. I won't slave for beggars' praise, likewise gold and jewels. I will slave to learn the way to sink your ship of fools, ship of fools, on a cruel sea, ship of fools, sail away from me. It was later than I thought. Okay, and that's all the time my looper has on it right now. So let's look at those first few changes, okay? First way to approach a complicated song, in my opinion, is start with that melody, okay? That's gonna have almost all the genetic code of the answer that you're looking for, okay? So if we're in B flat, which is already a disorienting key for most guitar players. When to see the captain, strangest I could find. So then try playing that, right? 3, 4. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that that's easy to do. I happen to know that already, so it looks, very compelling. Oh, look, Divine played it in 10 seconds. Of course I did. I already know this, but... I just played the melody from top to bottom with a few little ornamentations and stuff like that that fancify it and make it seem a little bit more together. So let's try it again with the backing track. Runs out there, but it's a very complicated progression, and you have to go bit by bit by bit by bit and taking it slow. Another thank you for all these teachings you've been doing. I'm glad you dig the teaching style. Doing the office hours is kind of easier for me than actually going through the hassle of figuring out what it is you guys are interested in. It's kind of nice to just have a jump ball. see what you guys ask about, and if I have something valid to offer, I'm happy to do so. Because if you're interested in what have I done a lesson on St. Stephen? No. So melody first, and then find out what works around starting place and build. That's definitely the first step for me, Tony, is to grapple with the melody, and then realize how the melody is. Thank you very much, Catherine. Figure out how the melody is relating to the chord. So if we're coming, let's stick with our Ship of Fools idea. Went to sea. Well, what is that? That's the root. So I'm going 5, 6, 1, 6. That's off the 2, kind of hitting up at the 3s. You know, either the major or the minor third. Right, then, so I should know how to play all that off of this octave, but also this one. And off of this one, you know. Okay, so we want to know how to play into all those chords and see where we're headed. So I'm using the, let's see the cat. So, cat, da, 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 da. Right, that's. Then over top of the diminished chord, I'm going strangest. So that's that. And we really got to understand how this diminished chord works to play over that song properly. But strangest, strangest. Right, there's that flat 3. Strangest I could find. Back up into the 3rd of the 1. Okay, then we're going, laid my proposition down. So this dominant 7 D chord is a really cool option for us here. That's kind of like the Hoagie Carmichael chord from Georgia on My Mind. Georgia, Georgia, right? It's also the 2nd chord in Deal. That same, it's a major 3rd but with a dominant sound. Okay, and that's when you hear me doing this little move. That is the F sharp. So that's the note that goes up. So those are just the chord tones that are happening. But I'm bringing them out here. Right here, right? So then, laid my proposition down. C minor. That's easy. That's just root, 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 2. And then over the F chord, go root, root, down. So that's going to be C, flat 3, 2, 1. So I'm playing into an F chord, kind of in a bluesy way. Okay, then a dead slave for beggars pay. So that's the 3rd again of the B flat. All right. Okay, then D minor. Likewise, golden Jew. Right? Likewise, golden Jew. But I would slave Back on the root there. I would slave to learn. And that's literally walking through the melody and like hacking it out, bro. That's the only way I've ever did this, is just slowly, slowly, slowly. Can I talk about Casey Jones? Pardon me. Oh, absolutely can talk about Casey Jones. I often teach Casey Jones as a way of learning how to play a quoted melody. So let's take a look at Casey Jones, okay? 2, 3, 4, 1. Let's get rid of that. 1, 3, 4, 1, train. That's it, right? 1, 2, 3. On that train, I'm walking. Okay, so the Garcia solo takes place over that, and I assume that's what you want to talk about. Okay, so let's look at the melody, which I played poorly there, but we're gonna go driving that train. So there's a chromatic motion between the D and the E note. And what you want to do, Catherine, is bend up into it. Okay, so bend up from. Oh. Work on your bending accuracy, because clearly I do too. I need to anyway. All right, so we've got that little motion there. And then we go chromatically down to our F chord. From its 5th into the 3rd, okay? So that would make our first phrase. 3, 4. Okay, and what did I do? I went and backdoored my way into the 3rd of the F chord. All right, from 1 fret below. You could do 2 frets below. It sounds nice too. So that's how I approach that. And over top of the second time through, you kind of have to go off the rails a little bit, no pun intended. Right? So by the way, I hate to say it, but if you want a really concise breakdown of this solo, there's an app for that. No, I'm kidding. I've actually got one on my website, not my website, but here on the channel that you can access for free. That'll break this thing down for you. Both the bobby part, all that. Is over top of the second time through. I'm just playing off the 6 and the root. So da 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 boo da ba da do. That's off the flat 3. And then boo ba 2 fret bend there. Boo ba ba. Okay, then again. And then I like this. So that's bending. After you fret the A, like that. You can slide up. And then you just kind of riff out a little bit. And then the little lick. What is it? Down, down. So that happens over top of, you know, everybody wants to play. If we play that whole idea here and we do. And then we go 1, 2, 3, 4. So the boom, da, 3, 4. I think that's what they're doing on there, the 2 guitar parts, but it's pretty hip. Okay, that's the weirdest Dear Prudence. How so? How is that weird? Scott, would you mind telling me how it's weird? I really don't mind you saying that it's weird. I just want to know what you mean by that. Is it the key or the feel of it? Because that is how the Garcia band seems to tackle it. But if I'm wrong, I'm happy to be wrong and figure out what I could be doing better. So that's the way I teach, you know, maybe tackling the Casey Jones melody, and hopefully that answers your question, Catherine. Any gigs scheduled? Yes, although I don't know the date. I'm a dummy. Oh, I see. Yeah, sorry. We've had some drift in our conversation there, Scott. I see what you're saying. Yes. You know, the truth is I only have control over where I start this. That's the best thing about these office hours, is that after a while the Vox Populi takes over, and I just kind of go with the flow. So with that said, welcome aboard, and if you have any questions that pertain to anything, I'd be very excited to answer. I think it was a joke because I was playing Casey Jones. Yes, it turns out that's what it was. So, yes. Well, you know what? Better late than never, Scott, and welcome aboard. And no, thanks for clarifying. I didn't quite understand. So, all right. Let's see what else we've got here. Oh, that's fun. Let's talk about that. Fucked up my loop. Let's try that again. So this is kind of the best I can do, is kind of a semblance of the happy to have both. Yeah. So this is kind of a take on how to jam over this Lydian groove that we encounter at the end of the song Cassidy. Let's get to a song that sounds a little bit more cut. Now, I don't know what, there is a general aversion to gain, but I don't have it. I happen to love overdrives and distortions and all sorts of stuff, so I definitely utilize some of that stuff. Okay, so Lydian. How do we get some Lydian stuff in the mix? The thing I like most is this technique I teach called the Lydian pyramid. Okay, and it's not a real thing. It's just a sound that I like. Okay, so if we come here to the 9th fret over top of our E Lydian groove, we get our 6. Oh, sorry, wrong note. Sorry, it would be. Sorry, wrong. It's. That's going to be Mixolydian, so then I want to come here. There it is. Okay, fine. Sorry. So we go to the E note here, and we build off of like that. So it's pyramid shape. It starts here wide at the base and gets narrower and cherries up right here. So we've got this sound. This is the Lydian pyramid, kind of a fun idea, but it's going to be the root in the 3rd, okay, the 5 in the major 7, the 3rd in the sharp 4, and the root. And it's a fun way to just fly through the Lydian sound. I don't know if you guys are digging that or whatever, but that's a fun one for me. The other one you can do is looking at the E note with your middle finger and then coming up through this fingering. Index, ring, slide. And then going index, ring, slide again. Then again, index, ring, slide, index, ring, slide. And you hear this sound. Fun for the Lydian enthusiast in you if you're interested in those two ideas. I like them a lot. I teach them probably far too often, to be honest. But there we go. Let's get out of that and maybe just do that instead. This is a slightly less gritty sound. So, I don't know. I'm happy to take another question, or I'm happy to go upstairs and have a snack, because I think I've got 4 o'clock coming up. Nobody's there. All right. I think we're done then, huh? Or I don't know if we've got anybody online here that has a question, or... Oh boy, what do we got here? Let's see what it is. You guys probably haven't seen this guitar. I was playing this thing earlier today. It's a fun instrument. This is my Tele. Hey, great info, thanks. Oh, you're very welcome. Oh, old man. Why is it that when you get old, you sit down, you stretch, you're like, oh yeah, that feels good, just like sit down. So one of these songs that, do I know any Arlen Roth? No, I don't, not that I don't appreciate his contributions to both the educational and the music. I mean, I think he did some good session work and stuff like that. But no, I'm not really a twanger guy, but I was about to say one of the things that's a great thing to do is take old folk tunes that have these kind of elemental chord changes to them and learn how to play over them. So if we did like, I think it's called Banks of the Ohio. It's one of these songs I really like. I took my really good. Right? Something like that. Just learning how to make changes over top of something that's very predictable. So not that that was my favorite or most inspired playing, but learning how to channel into some of these sounds of, learning how to get those traditional melodies under your belt. Very helpful for learning how to transfer like a little bit of earthiness and folkiness into songs that you might find yourself playing in more modern contexts. So, a lot of times those rootsy things like those kind of like ragtime sounds, they're somewhat distant from many of my students. They don't quite understand like what's happening with the use of thirds when we're rubbing against thirds, kind of like in a ragtime way, like. That kind of thing. It's pretty traditional harmony, but it's very important to know how to. Sounds like E diminished 7 should be right, but not sure. Over what? Over what? Where does that sound right? You were playing Ship of Fools earlier, and I do it in the key of G. I was wondering what the diminished chord should be there. So that would be, if you play that in G, you would be, went to see the captain, stranges. So that would be C sharp diminished. What did you write? You wrote E diminished 7, so that would be That's correct too. So C sharp, E diminished, G diminished, and B flat diminished are all the same chord. So perfect. No problems there. Absolutely, you're on the money, Ian. So what do you do that because you can't sing up that high? Man, a lot of high end on this guitar. Pretty cool though. Sounds pretty good for that stuff. Maybe a little too bright. Still a fun little tune. Little Scarlett. Anyway, what do we got going on here? How do I contact you about possible lessons? You would email me to jack_divine@hotmail.com. It's at the end of most of the, I don't know, 300, I don't know how many lessons are on. Nobody ever makes to the end of these fucking lessons though. That's the thing. So I'm happy you asked and happy to share. jack_divine@hotmail.com. Jack_divine at oldasfuck first email address ever.com. And that should get you in touch with me, Ian. I hope you're happy there. Listen, I need to jump. My kids are apparently struggling with some element. I'm seeing a bunch of text. So I'm gonna jump off of here, and I'll catch up with you guys soon, okay? Ian, thanks for the ask, and looking forward to meeting you guys online in a private lesson if you're interested in that kind of jazz. And if not, I'll see you here at on the YouTubes on the next episode of Office Hours. Thanks for stopping by. I really do appreciate your interest and your kindness and your suggestions and participation. It's super fun to be part of a community. So I'm happy to share with you what I know. All right, take care, everybody. Thanks again. Bye-bye.